Hi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. So, today I want to talk about controlling your energy. I've talked about this subject in a lot of different ways in the past, but I think controlling your energy is, it's all about balance, right? You're always trying to create a balance in your life and your environment. So, all right, take breaks, right? Celebrate your accomplishments. Always celebrate your wins. Take some time off. Don't feel like you gotta push, especially, if you're not creating income right away. Eventually things will roll in, but you still have to create balance in order to keep moving forward. If you do too much all at once, and then, you're out for a week, and then, you're just dead. So a lot of times, this doesn't get I don't think this gets talked about enough. For one thing, everybody's got to find their own balance when they feel most productive, at what times during the day. You know, try not to focus too. It's okay to get entertained by stuff, but monitor what you're listening to. Right? I mean, if all you're doing is just you're in a lot of conflictive stuff all the time, it's going to be harder to connect with your higher self, to figure out what kind of downloads you need to give the public. Right? So protect your energy. And it all starts with your mind. I heard somebody else talking about this the other day, and it was just like, man, it's like it seems like the same downloads kind of comes to the group collective all the time. I just wrote an article, Heart Chakra News. If you'd like to subscribe to the Heart Chakra News, maybe I'll put a link in the comments underneath this video to that last one that I did. But most groups end up being imbalanced and kind of dysfunctional in a way. So if you're working for somebody, depending on who you're working for, if you're just doing your own thing all the time, but you can't get into your creative energy, to like let go of the past and create something new, most of the time the larger groups put kind of a governor on that, because you're always dealing with everybody else's energy there. So it's very hard to create whatever it is you want to create. That's why, when people go home after you go to work, let's say you're working a 9 to 5 and you're working for a big company, usually you don't get the freedom to just create whatever you want to create. And so a lot of times, and you're surrounded by so many energies there that kind of pull you in a direction that somebody else wants to go. And so it creates this negative mindset. And so the difficult thing is to try to see everything from a higher perspective and the reason why those negative mindsets exist. And to take time for yourself and to make sure that you are protecting your own energy and thinking positive about yourself and the people around you, because how you think about yourself will reflect into the people around you. And you can slowly create, really good positive change in even if you're in a group, over time that way. And encourage people to let go of the past. Say, hey, look, we don't have to keep doing it the same way over and over and over. And then a lot of times you'll get arguments and say, hey, we've been doing that way for a long, long time, But that's what creates a hamper on, evolving technology, right? The technology doesn't evolve as fast as it could, because you're, for one thing, trying to concentrate on profits. And when you're trying to concentrate on profits, you go and run into survival mode, and then you get pulled into an old mindset where you think you need to keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and nobody wants to do that. Everyone likes to, create something new all the time. And so, we run through cycles, natural cycles in our environment where we're, yearly, every springtime, it's like, oh, it's time for something new. And like this time of year, we're trying to harvest our fruits of our labors from the previous year. So, sorry, I'm kind of spilling off into another area, but the main thing is, especially if you're working alone, is to make sure that you're honoring yourself. And, as long as you're not thinking negatively about yourself, and look at what other people are doing, get to a place where it feels like you can positively look at the whole organism and see how it's growing. And you'll see, like I've said before, like in my previous video, that it's going through monumental changes so that people are learning to protect their energy and not giving their energy over to things that don't serve them, so that they can become more creative and productive in their own lives, which will positively affect everyone around them. Because you really want to, that's how an organism heals, right? Individual cells in your body are in a really good energetic state, and they'll heal that area around it, and if it has to, it'll flush those cells out of the system. So that's just the way that works. Anyway, so think positively about what you're doing. Let go of the past, and then if you're holding on energetically to something in the past, like a hurt or an owie. I heard someone talk about that yesterday. I think the Draconic Princess, I watch her channel every once in a while. She's talking about that. And if you're thinking about something that happened in the past that someone said to you, that's a projected energy, right? That's if somebody is trying to make you feel less than, it's not because you are less than. It's because somebody was holding on to something, a hurt that they had, and they just projected that energy onto you, right? You kind of are what we reproduce what we are. So if we're hurt in any way, then it will project that onto our environment. So the best thing to do is to understand that you are whole, you're wonderful and pretty. I love all of you. And just not to hold on to any kind of attachments to any kind of emotional pain, because that's think about the source of where that came from. It almost always comes from someone else. It's always coming from a projection, and by accepting that projection will lock you in that energetic state, and then that's what you'll reproduce into your environment. That's the vibration that you'll reproduce, which is a lower vibration, right? Because it's pulling energy. You're not reproducing as fast. You're just trying to pull energy from somewhere else in your creative circuit, which is limiting your creative cycle. So you can't create anything new. You're just recreating that energy of that environment, which is why it's very hard to pull yourself into creative energy when you're in a big group, because you're going to naturally resonate with how that group is functioning, if that makes sense. So, if you share this video, even with the group that you're working in, because the best thing that you could do, and I've thought about this, is if you've got a group of people that really aren't, that it feels like they're showing up for work all the time and they not working together that well, the best thing you could do is probably take a homework assignment. Take a week off, don't spend any time with anybody else, and have everybody individually come up with some new ideas of what they could do in the workplace. And then come back after that period and then share those ideas. Because it takes some time to heal and try and not think negatively about other people, because they'll be just projecting energies that you're soaking up. And unless you're super highly self-evolved and aware, and I gotta admit, if I had to spend a lot of time in a negative atmosphere for a long period of time, it will affect you, right? Because you're not able to do what you feel like you need to do, right? It will limit your ability to listen and everything else. So, and it's a healing for the heart when you can look at the whole and see what's happening, on the whole, where, all of us have to purify our intents towards each other. Because if we're, only interested in sparking creativity in someone if they can make money for us, bad mojo. That's trying to put energy into something that is materialistic, that is going to be a waste of your time. You want to make sure the energy that you're putting into yourself is going to enable you to put energy into other people. You don't want to do that strictly for the sake of cash, right? I mean, we live in a society that runs on that, and it's starting to learn, though, that the relationships that we have to be purified in order for our, civilization to grow. Our society isn't going to grow unless we purify our minds and our hearts towards each other, and especially towards ourselves. Because, like I said, the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you feel about yourself emotionally is how it's going to affect the people around you. So, yeah. I love you guys. Let's get an oracle card. Now, Alexa, do you love me?
I don't have human love figured out quite yet.
She says that every time. Alexa, you say that to me every time. When are you going to figure out human love?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
That is too bad. So what do you guys need to hear? What do you guys like? What do you guys like to do in the holidays? Right now, it's been super cold outside. I thought about jumping on the river again. But, and it gets colder and colder, right? I mean, we're pushing December. And so, celestial teacher. Is that me? Am I a celestial teacher? Let's get some other cards. When it gets colder and colder, it gets pretty cold when you jump into the water. If the water is like, yeah. Control your energy. Control the way you think about yourself, and this will impact how you're thinking about other people, and it will enlighten you as far what other people are going through and what they need. If you're a consultant or if you're helping people in any way, however your service is to the public, knowledge of the self is what dictates how well you are able to help other people. Because a lot of times you'll see something on the surface and say, "Oh, this is going to be a good fix for you," But in reality, it's always teaching somebody how to examine their own mind and their own psychology, because the way that you view other people will dictate how you treat them, and that is an indication of how you're going to how you're treating yourself. Let's get one other card here. This one wants to come out. So does this one. Rebirth. 8 of Vessels. Love it. So we're hitting the mark. We're rebirthing here. You guys are rebirthing. I like it. So, letting go of the past enables you to create something new. So I'm really encouraged and would love to see what new things you guys are creating. I am also creating something new, and I'm really super pumped about it. I've already created something that should get to market here not too long, but I'm doing something else now, and I'm really excited. This is something that I've actually always wanted to do, but it's aligning with the other project in a way that it's very cool. So, love you guys, and have a great day.